recently went to Rotterdam Zoo, and I am going to let you join me on this trip. We're going to talk about my experience in the zoo, and I'll show you some pictures and videos of the zoo, and I'll show you the map and all the good stuff. But first, of course, the can of affirmations. The can of affirmations, because you deserve to hear some affirmations today. So, today it's a green one. It's a green one. It's a green one. Because the lighting is green, of course. And it says, it doesn't matter whether you had a good or a bad day, because you did enough today. All that matters is that you did enough today. You tried your hardest. You did enough. Trust me, you did enough today. And we're proud of you. That can go back now. Alright. I got this little map here, which I want to show you before we really get into it. Because, look at, oh, that's so cool. Alright. The zoo consists of two parts. So you have the first entrance, and you have the second entrance around here, I believe. Might be around here, or where is it? Yeah, here. It's around here. Yeah, correct. So I entered through here. I entered through there, and you start off with this big main plaza. And you have a it's by the way, it's mirrored for me, so it's a bit harder to explain. You start off with a gift shop right here. There's a gift shop right here. There's a bunch of gifts. And first off, I went to the restaurant and bought some coffee because I needed some coffee. And then you could see the raccoons over here. These are the raccoons. They had raccoons. They had raccoons. They had raccoons. I love raccoons. They're just little trash pandas. I love them so much. I love raccoons. I love raccoons. So you start off with the Arctic area, the North American Arctic area. So they have Arctic foxes. They have sea eagles, bald eagles. They also have the bisons, of course, the prairie dogs, and had a walk-through enclosure for the prairie dogs. So you can walk through the gate and get very close to the prairie dogs. You can get very close to the prairie dogs. And they have a giant polar bear exhibit. A giant polar bear exhibit. There are multiple parts. So, for example, you could go into the underground part where you can see like into their little lake, and they had a few little places where you could see them, and I think there were also multiple polar bears, so that's very cool. And if you get past the prairie dogs, there is a part where they do a bird show. You can see the bird show, which is very cool. I don't think I've ever been to that bird show, but I don't even know if they still have it, but I remember they used to have a bird show there. And then you get to a playground for the children. Here is a playground for the children. They have toilets and place to eat as well. Place to eat to get some, I don't know, pancakes or something. And they have the Amazonica, which is just a giant dome, a tropical dome, more like a swamp biome, more mangrove tropical swamp biome. And they had a bunch of butterflies in there. It was basically a giant butterfly house. They had butterflies. They had a bunch of like small terrariums with tarantulas and stick insects, I think, and some beetles probably, and reptiles as well. And they had some ponds with piranhas. You also have the Vicuna. I don't know what it actually is. It's called in English or Dutch. I have no clue what it's called. And some other stuff, ibis. And they had a lemur enclosure here for the Madagascar part, which I don't think was finished. Because they also have a ring-tailed lemur part here, so I don't know why they had lemurs there. And this whole area wasn't finished yet. The whole Madagascar area wasn't finished yet, which was a shame. And afterwards, you could go under here. There's a train here, just a normal, regular Rotterdam train, and you pass under the bridge, and you get to the Asian area. 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 You get to the Asian area, where they had the Asian lion. Asian lion over here, another restaurant, Malaysian tapir, and the Indian elephant. They had some Indian elephants, which was a big enclosure. They had a very big enclosure. And you could see them from multiple angles. So I sat down there for a while and just watched the elephants just be cool and wander around. And they also have a giant indoor part for the elephants called the Tamaninda. And they also had some other things inside it. I think they had a tapir in indoor enclosure, and they had some monkeys, I think, and maybe some terrariums as well. But outside of the Tamaninda, they had a small waterfall, and because it was sunny that day, you could see a small rainbow over the waterfall, which I'll show now. It was very, very pretty. Just watching the waterfall, just watching the rainbow over the waterfall, watching the rainbow over the waterfall. You also have, if you follow the path here, you have the Indian rhino. Which are very impressive creatures, even though they're quite stupid. And you have the camels and also the Broom Asia, which was closed. I believe it was closed. I remember there used to be a bat enclosure. You could go into the dark area underground. You could see the bats, but it was all closed. Unfortunately. And after you pass the camels, you have the red pandas. And they had one enclosure here, but also another enclosure here. They had two red panda enclosures. And I believe the second red panda enclosure used to be something like a mountain goat area, because they had a huge rocky part, which doesn't really fit a red panda enclosure. You also have some other creatures. I don't know what they're called, but like gazelle type, Asian gazelle thingies, sorta. I don't know what they're called in English. And you also have the Asia house. You have an Asia house. They have an Asia house. You have an Asia house. You have an Asia house. You have an Asia house. And they had a cobra. They had a Komodo dragons. Which are very cool. And some monkey species. Just a bunch of stuff there. Our monkeys had a Chinese garden. They had a Chinese garden here, which was very pretty. A Chinese garden you can walk through. And a panther, and the pelicans. You also have the pelicans right here. And I have most of the Asia part is already finished. All this is Asia. And it ends with the flamingo enclosure, which was a giant flamingo aviary. And you also have the Biotopia, which is a giant indoor hall with a playground, and also some parts with aviaries and terrariums, I believe. So there's just a bunch of stuff going on in this hall. And you have here the ring-tailed lemur, which I believe is getting placed to go back here to the Madagascar part. I don't know what they're going to do with the little island, the lemur island. And you also have the tigers here. This is a bridge you can walk over, and you can look into the tiger enclosure. You can also go underneath it and get very close to the tigers. So that's the whole Asia part. That's the whole Asia part. That's the whole Asia part. You also have the Africa part, which you have, for example, the bongo over here. You have some gazelles, the zebras, and the ostriches. And on the other side of the ostrich enclosure, you have a giant savanna with giraffes and stuff. And there even is a indoor part for the giraffes. It's very, very known for one of the most, I believe, like iconic indoor giraffe enclosures over there. Yeah. And there's hyenas underneath. And there is a vulture area. There's a giant vulture area, and they had secretary birds, which are one of my favorite birds. Secretary birds. They're basically, these are like big-legged predator birds, and they use their legs to kick. So they just kick snakes and other small creatures, and they're very cool. They have like cool eyeshadow and stuff, and it's I love them. So if you get through the indoor part of the giraffes, you have a crocodile river. So they had a Nile crocodile and another species of crocodile. You had a Nile crocodile and a species of another crocodile. And you also have a big aviary with okapis. You have a big aviary with okapis, which are giraffe-like creatures, and they're very massive, much bigger than I would expect them to be. But they are also very shy, so it was very well, very overgrown. So the okapis could shy away for a bit. What else? You have some buffalo. You also have the black rhino. The black rhino is over here, next to the pygmy hippo. Both of these have an indoor enclosure, which is close to the Biotopia Hall, the Riviera Hall, it's also called. And next to the pygmy hippos, you have the gorillas. And until recently, there lived a gorilla called Poquito, which was famous for. Basically, the whole story is there was a woman who was kind of like in love or obsessed with Paquito, and she would go there and stare at him and like make gestures to him, and he would always give her attention, and she figured that he was in love or he liked her or whatever. But basically, Paquito felt very threatened by her, and she kept doing this. She kept returning to the zoo and threatening him until one day Paquito got so sick of her that he escaped the enclosure. And beat her up. Sounds horrible saying this, but she didn't die. I swear, she didn't die. But she was attacked, let's say lightly. So yeah, and he recaptured Paquito, and he lived for many more years until recently, where he died of some illness. Very sad. Yeah, but yeah, that's the story of Paquito. Very famous gorilla. You also have a giant playground here. There's also some area for bees, for wild bees, and they have just a bunch of wild plants and grasses for bees. And bees can live there, and butterflies as well. Although I have to say, as a biologist, I could clearly recognize that they were all more. I get their point that they want to have a bunch of plants, but it didn't work because it was very overgrown with other stuff that wasn't supposed to be there. So they weren't doing a great job there. And you also have the Galada baboon, which is also called the open heart baboon or something, because they have a heart-shaped thing on their chest, a hairless heart-shaped thing on their chest. So they look like they have an open heart. Bloody open heart. So yeah, and you also have the reindeer here, which is quite sad because it's called the Europe part, but they only have the reindeer and this bee valley. Same with Australia. They have a whole part called Australia, but they only have wallabies. They only have wallabies. That's the only Australian creature they have. Just a wallaby enclosure. And yeah, that is most of the map. But I saved something for last. Best for last. Because here you have the whole ocean part. So you start off with a sea lion enclosure over here. You have a Californian sea lion, I think. And you walk into the aquarium, and you start off with a few small like ponds with sea stars and some shrimp and stuff, and also what are they called? Like sea puffins, I think. Sea puffins. Might be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I have some footage, but they're cute, like penguin-like diving birds. I love them. And you get into the aquarium, and the aquarium is massive. It's actually massive. So you have a bunch of more just regular saltwater enclosures with just like the clownfish and stuff. And you also have at some point you have a giant aquarium which you can walk under. So they have like a glass bridge you walk underneath, so the water is all above you. And then you continue through. There's a bunch of sharks in there. There's a bunch of species of shark, like black-tailed reef sharks, I think they're called, and like another bunch of other species. And what else? You have a lot of like science parts. So where they do tests and stuff, you can actually see the lab. And they also had some parts with a fire salamander thingy, which is one of my favorite amphibians. It's also going to be my next tattoo underneath my bumblebee tattoo. But I love fire salamanders because in Netherlands it used to be quite a decently common creature, but it got infected by a fungus called B-cell, which basically is just a fungus that eats the skin of salamanders, and some species are less susceptible to this, but the fire salamander is very easily harmed by this fungus. So basically, since it was discovered in 2012, it has killed more than 99% of the fire salamander population in the Netherlands. So that this whole all these signs about it telling you about what happened and stuff. It's still a big problem. It's also the reason why it's much harder to buy amphibians, especially salamanders, because if you accidentally infect one salamander, doesn't matter which species, it can also infect the next one. So you can accidentally kill a bunch of them. And you also had a part in the ocean with more tropical mangrove, and you had the stingrays, and you had turtles, and what else did you have? Just a bunch. You have another place to eat. They had a bunch of reptiles. They had iguanas. They had poison dart frogs, I think. More fish. It's hard to remember because it went a few days ago. Hard to remember. But yeah, what else? Oh, and if you continue through the mangrove part, you get to the penguin part, and instead of having African penguins or Humboldt penguins, they had king penguins, which are Arctic penguins. So they only have an indoor part, but they're so cute. I love them so much. Arctic penguins, like king penguins, are so cool. They're so cool. What else? I think that's most of it. I think that's most of it. So let's look at the whole map again. As you can see, it's quite big. It's quite a big zoo. It's a very big zoo. I think we spent 5 hours in there to get through everything. So I don't remember, but I've been in the zoo before many years ago, and I can't remember that the ocean part was that massive. Also, all the reptiles. I like reptiles.